Hi readers! I'm so excited to read with you today. And today we're going to read a little bit of a different kind of book than we read last time. Last time I read with you, we read this book. And it was sort of teaching us about different animals. This is called nonfiction. It's about real information and it's teaching us things. But this kind of book that we're going to read today is called fiction. It's about things that aren't real. The writers, the authors, make the stories up. Sometimes they sound like they could be real, like they're about people that do things that happen in real life, but it's just a made-up story. And other times they have things that are really pretend. Like this worm. Do worms usually sit and relax on beach chairs? This looks like it's going to be a little bit of a silly book, and I can't wait to read it. But before we get started, I need to think about the things that good readers do. First, I think about my spot that I'm reading, and I think to myself, is this a quiet, comfortable spot for me to read? Do I feel like I'm going to be ready to learn here? It's quiet in my space, and I'm really comfortable. What about in your space? Look around, think to yourself, does my space feel okay? And if you don't have your book with you yet, go ahead and grab one of your books that you got from school this week because you're going to want to read it at the end. You don't have to have the same book as me. Okay, now that we're ready, I want to share with you the first thing we're going to do. Good readers always study the cover. So take a look at the cover, and I'm going to think about what might this book be about. Well, I think this book is going to be about a worm, and I'm looking at the worm, and the worm is on a beach chair or maybe a pool chair, and the worm has a cool drink, and look at Worm's tongue and the water coming off of Worm's face. Worm looks like they're sweating, and Worm looks like they're panting. They're really hot. I wonder if this book is going to be about, I don't know, it doesn't look like Worm is very happy about it. So I wonder if Worm is going to be trying to figure out how to become less hot. Let's see. Now as a reader, I'm going to try to think of words that match the story using the pictures. Ooh, Worm is sitting on a beach chair. They are very hot. Look at that picture. Worm grabs a fan to try to cool off. Ooh. Looks like Worm is still hot. I could say that. Worm is still hot. Readers, look at this page. Oh my goodness. What is Worm doing here? Say out loud like how the story might go on this page. Read this page using the picture. Nice. I might have thought of different words than you, but I was going to say here, Worm got another fan to try to stay cool. Look here. Friends, does Worm look cold yet? Or does Worm still look hot? I'm going to say Worm is still hot. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look. 1, 2, 3 fans. I can say Worm gets a third fan. He pushes it with their neck. Oh my goodness. Worm got another fan. One more fan. What could you say on this page? Tell me what happened. I'm going to say the fans blew Worm away. Now that I'm finished with the book, I want to do two things to help me think about the book. The first thing I want to think about is who and where, like who was in the story and where was the story happening. I want to think of both of those things before I tell it back because it's so important to make sure to use those specific things when I retell. So I know the main character in this book, the person or the animal in this case in the book is Worm, right? Worm actually is the only character in this book, the only actor, the only creature. Where does this book take place? Where is it happening? We don't know exactly, but I know Worm is outside somewhere hot. So Worm is who and where is outside somewhere hot. Now let me tell the story. Let me think. Worm was hot. They were sitting on their chair. They had their drink. They decided to get a fan. Worm was still hot and got another fan. Worm was still hot and got another fan and another fan. Then the air was blowing so hard, Worm got whooshed away. That was a silly book. I love reading funny books. They're some of my favorites. Now that we've finished this book, I wanted you to get a chance to practice this in your own book. So like I said at the beginning, you should have a book nearby. And I want you to read your book, study the picture on the cover, think about what it's going to be about, read the pictures, saying out loud what is going on in the pictures. And then when you get to the end of the book, I want you to have a videotape on Seesaw. You can record you in your cozy reading spot talking about who was in your book and where the story took place. Awesome. Readers, I can't wait to see what you do, and I hope you have fun reading.